5:05, and we have a quorum, and we'll go ahead and do the introductions. I'll start. Jennifer Irvin, El Paso County.
Joe Alsbach, City of Woodland Park.
Victoria Chavez, El Paso County.
Craig Casper, PPACG.
Ryan Vituli, City of Colorado Springs, Mountain Metro Transit.
Larry Manning, Town of Monument.
Kathleen Krager, subbing for Tim Roberts, City of Colorado Springs.
It's kind of nice to see the
Audience?
two small communities here, you know.
Audience.
Kevin Reyes, PPACG.
If you might want to move over to where we can see you, that might be a good thing.
Hiding behind the pillar.
You can't hide behind the
That was
pillar.
that was intentional.
And then,
Anna Stevens, PPACG.
alrighty, so we have an agenda that was sent out. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So item number 3, this is your time for public comments. These are comments for anybody here for items not on the agenda. So please come forth. Alrighty then.
I'd just like to recognize our two members in the audience there, and glad they're still here and they're sticking with it.
Thank you all. Ditto. Item number 4, long-range plan amendment. This is a review and recommend item. Craig Casper, Transportation Director.
Okay, so in order to, as everybody knows, we have to keep our plan fiscally constrained to put new projects in with to take projects out. And it has to go forward at the same time as the TIP. The TIP has to be approved by June, and right now our board meeting is scheduled for June 8th, which means in order to have our 30-day public comment period, the board would have to release it in April. We are going to approach the board to see if they will move their board meeting from June 8th to June 15th, which accomplishes two things. One that I care about, that lets us release it in May and then approve it in June. And one I don't care about, which is let them go to the CCI meeting. So it's sort of a double hit. In the past, the CCI meeting, we have moved it, so I'm confident, I won't say extremely confident, that they will move the board meeting. But that way we would have the release in May, and we could finalize it in June. That gives us through the April TAC meeting to get everything fine-tuned. That said, we have the plan amendment, and as Victoria pointed out, the project list that we sent out that had taking projects out removed projects from the plan by about $6.5 million. Actually, I think I've got that on. So we can unremove projects. So yeah, we just, it's not that one, it's this. So the, right now we're taking out $25.3 million and only need to take out, well, it's 16, this is $2 million over because we're moved $2 million from the TAP category to the Metro category, that $2 million right there, because the two projects for Manitou Springs are funded in TAP in the plan, so we can transfer money from one category to the other, from TAP to Metro, and so that we have $6 million, or 18, we're showing 18, it's actually 16 because we've added the $2 million.
So can we see the projects that were, Craig, could we see the projects that were removed?
It's the ones that have no, so this is what's in the plan now, the dollars amount in the plan now. This is the proposed dollar amount, so if it's blank here or a lower number here, and you can see off to the side how much was taken out. So this is going from 34 to 30, moving $4.3 million. So here are the projects.
Based on what the city and the county
Submitted.
previously
Exactly.
suggested.
Yep. So we can put, this is, by the way, putting $6 million back in the plan is a lot more fun than taking $6 million out. But yeah, so there's exactly $6.7 million that can be put back in to these projects that are blank here or to these two projects that, right there.
Kathleen.
But theoretically, all of these projects will end up back in the plan at some time and on a tip.
If they are scored well, yes. Otherwise, no. We do not carry projects from one plan to the next. It's a competitive process every time.
Craig, could you just move that split screen over so we can see who the sponsors are a
yes.
little better? I mean, I know the county and city are very familiar with their project, but
So back to whether or not they're scored. The projects that were all removed were beyond the year
They were-
2020,
2025, they were more than 10 years out.
and so they hadn't been competitively scored. Had they been competitively
Everything in the
scored?
plan had been competitively scored, and scored over 300 or whatever. I forget what it was.
And so there's a chance that next time they won't be competitively scored.
Yeah, well, no, everything, in order to get into the plan, it has to be competitively scored.
When does the plan?
It has to be adopted November 2019 is the next one. So before we get to the out years of this tip.
Okay, so I was thinking of retirement in spring of 2020, so could you push that off a little bit? Then I wouldn't worry about this at
That
all.
would be awesome if I could. I'll
Okay.
talk to CDOT.
Thank you. I'm done here. Sorry. I'm kidding, no. Might I suggest that the city and the county might want to each split that 6 million and look at putting 3 million back into the plan? Does that work for county, Victoria?
Of course, but your academy over Sand Creek is not correct. We did not remove the whole 9 million.
Yeah.
We only removed 6.12182 from that line.
Okay, so it should be 6.12812.
It's the 9 million minus that 6 million should be what's in there.
Okay. So.
So does that
6
mean we
million-
don't have 6 million to play with?
6.1, well, can you say that again, Victoria, please?
Yes, sorry, 6.12182.
6 million,
there's a decimal missing.
yeah. Are these in decimals or are these in real dollars? So I need to put a 0 on it. There we go.
Yeah, that 6 million is what we removed,
So that,
which left some money in the plan for that project.
so the 651,000 is what's left now. So we can put $651,000 back in. Any of these? Yeah, well, some of them.
Okay, county, I'll let you have it.
Airport over Sand Creek Bridge rehab is pretty close to that.
This one,
No, down. Third one from the bottom.
third one from the bottom, yeah.
That one.
And this one's 710, Hancock westbound, so Colorado Springs or Colorado.
But
Or we can put it back into one of these, put it back into,
do we know how they all scored, what their scores were?
but this is in score order, more or less,
Okay.
I think.
You know, feel free to put it into academy.
That's
So-
fine. It doesn't matter at this point. I don't really care.
Plus,
Oh, yes, you do.
No, I don't.
That was 600,000 we don't.
Come on, that's,
so 651,813, 651,813.
Because what I did was took the spreadsheet that I did last
There we go.
time with the red lines on it and compared it to what was on here, and that's when I noticed that difference between the 9 and the 6.
So, yeah, we took it out instead of, sorry. Okay. So this part's done. There's, again, though,
uh-oh.
save as Excel workbook. Let's save it on the desktop, 'cause I can always recover that. Okay. The second, and TAP is good, I talked to Dwayne, and he took the 600 or 560,000 out of the Jimmy Camp Carroll Creek. So he covered that.
Nice.
What else? He was awesome. He actually laughed about it.
I was going to give him a cookie, but you go ahead and give him a kiss.
I think Cindy would prefer you give them a cookie.
Something else we need, though not today, is the reason for taking these projects out of the plan. I mean, if you have have it now, we can. Otherwise, we can send it back with you. But why this one versus instead? Because we're not going from the bottom score up. Then we need some other reasons for that.
We sent those in.
Well, that was for the tip, so we should just use it for the tip too. Okay.
I would say yes.
Okay, because we have them for the tip. We can just that totally works.
So Kathleen, just so that you know, what did we put? So if you want to use that same thing, we
Mostly that we were, what was it, seeking funding elsewhere, basically.
Yeah,
Okay, I can go with that.
and that's I think pretty much all of them were that. There was one that was there was a 4F issue, but it was like
I don't have any issues with mine, so it must be seeking funding for this one.
yes.
Okay. And then on this top one,
On the tap one.
guys, all right, and, you know, I might be crazy because I've been looking at these things too much for, you know,
I know.
too much for too little time,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Not putting enough time into it. It seems to me that we're removing 18 from Metro, and we're also removing the 2 million from TAP.
Well, no, we moved 2 million from tap to Metro.
But then we only need to remove,
560,000 right here.
then we should only need to remove, like 14 million instead of 18. Because we only needed to remove like 16 million, right?
Right.
And so
Well, but that was a 60 million before the others, because I didn't count the two from Manitou Springs because they're fully funded in the remove. They're fully funded, but they're in TAP. So we just moved 2 million from TAP to Metro. So then it looks like 18, but it's actually 16 because we added.
We removed 2 million though from TAP also.
No, only 560,000. We moved the total available. We moved 2 million of the total available into Metro. We've only removed 560,000 from this project and added this one. And these two, we took money out, 1.3 million out here and 700,000 out here, and moved it into Metro.
So then we should have
Here.
Ruxton
I'll just do this. This minus this.
and Creek Walk then got added.
They're added to the Metro category. So,
So we took out the 18, we added the 2.03. But then, okay, just give me a second.
oh, I understand. And trying to do spreadsheets on the fly is horrible.
While you're doing that, can you just explain the Wetland Bank?
It is a mitigation project for other projects. El Paso County is the lead on it. There's some land been identified, and they'll create a wetland that can be drawn, wetlands that need to be compensated for
So
from
it is
impacts.
actually a project on the ground somewhere?
Yes, it's out, actually, it's right by your guys' office, isn't it?
Yeah, we actually already own the land. We've already done the study on it. It's viable. We could produce anywhere between 20 and 40 acres of wetlands, depending on how growth occurs. And what that will do is, it puts it in one spot, so as you have wetlands, then it's easier to maintain, but it also, is allowing you to, instead of taking, and we have a wetland bank in the county, so we have the ability to do this. So what it does is that when you go to get your 404 permit for a project, you just say, I'm taking 2 acres out of our wetland bank, and they approve the 404 permit instead of having to do a delineation and put it into your plan and have them review that and then have to construct it and hope it is viable.
I just didn't understand it was an actual
Yeah.
physical project. So
Yeah,
what's
it
the
is.
560 fund, the construction of it?
Yeah, the final design and construction of it.
I still like the idea of little safe deposit boxes with cattails in them.
You do?
Yeah, there you go.
So it's pretty exciting because
Good, okay.
when we've done other wetland mitigation for some of our other federal projects, sometimes it's been really good and sometimes it's not been successful, and we've spent a lot of money to try and
Make it successful.
yeah, make it successful, and it's frustrating.
If you don't have the hydrology in the soils, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah. So this location really has that, so
Good. Okay.
This
it's pretty exciting.
is what the tip table for Metro is. Tap. Well, I guess there actually need to start with one on Metro.
So do we need to make are we good to make a
Well,
motion?
It is your choice. We can wait another month. We can do it now if everybody's comfortable with it. If you want to wait and see if, how the people not here feel. I know Dwayne, actually Dwayne's more, isn't what the plan part of it is, with this tip part of it. Sorry.
Yeah, I have not talked to Dwayne, so.
And
I'm
this is a
sorry,
hard,
I
I will
have
send a
not talked to
spreadsheet out, Excel. This is the hard copy, so you guys don't have to print it. This is what the tip table then would look like for Metro and TAP, which, by the way, have been renamed. They're not Metro and TAP. They are the.
Are we
Surf-
going on to item number 5?
Oh, yeah, sorry. That would be a number 5. Yeah, sorry. My bad.
So
Jumping ahead.
Can I ask a question here?
Yeah.
Before we move on? So,
that's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Brian, go ahead.
so the two attachments in item 4, one is a table for STP Metro and the other one is TAP.
Right.
What do the different colors mean?
Oh, that was my bad of not whiting them out. They were my code for making sure I was balancing things so I could find
Okay.
things easily. There's the tannish color was projects that are being removed. The blue was projects that were in the plan and being adjusted but not removed, I think. But it was just for my code, and I didn't white it out before I sent it.
Yellow
Sorry.
are the new projects?
Yes.
Okay. So, not to be, like narrow-minded, but I will be. The transit planning studies, it's funded.
Right.
Is this at a lower level?
Shouldn't be 470,000.
Well, yeah, I see, are these supposed to be total costs?
Federal only.
Okay. All right. So for the transit planning studies, that looks right, the 447, 657. But for my Route 9 Phase 4 TAP project, the 535 is the total cost. I only need 428.
A second. I'm trying to find Route 9.
Just like the seventh
Hancock
one from the
South,
top.
Buxton, Jackson Creek, Charter. Ute Pass, Transit Planning Studies.
It's number 126, if that helps you.
I'm looking at this, the
That one.
attachment that's in the.
I'm trying to find what because this one will have the local match and the ratio on it.
Oh, it's the very first one.
The very first one on this one, Hancock Multimodal. Cimarron, Black Forest, Cheyenne, Albert.
Well, it looks.
Is it funded in TAP or in?
No, it's TAP,
Oh,
yeah.
that
It looks
one.
like it's right in the tip table.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
But in the attachment that's in with the memo,
Yeah, it's got
it's
four.
got total.
Yeah, it's got 428, 107 for a total of 535.
Yep. Yep.
And then in 2019, there's actually 107 in local match for a total of 642.
Okay.
So,
So your plan is in TAP,
No,
No, the Route 9.
Route 9,
Route 9?
yeah. And
so is
transit planning.
535? Is that okay?
studies. That's the total project
Yep.
cost.
Total project
Mhm.
cost 535. Okay.
Okay, that's good, thank you.
Yep.
And that's the total project cost, but isn't everything else in here just the federal money?
Well, in the plan one, it's federal only. I was looking at this one so I could see what the total project is, the tip version.
Okay, so the one in this spreadsheet spreadsheet, the TAP spreadsheet, is that federal only?
Yes.
And your 535 is your federal only?
535 is the total project costs, only 428 federal.
And is that in, let me see what it is.
Yeah, it's right in this.
It's right in the tip. What is it in the hand one?
Yeah, the plan one is on it, it's in at 535.
Right,
And I'm not
right.
trying to take money from you, I'm just trying to get
No,
things right.
that's what I was trying to point out originally.
About 9. So this should be, what was it?
428.
428. We actually highlight this as a change. Put a flag on it. So I can give some money back to Dwayne then, I think. Actually, I don't think we need to take any out of Dwayne's.
You don't have 560 though, to give back to him.
No, we don't. But we can give whatever the difference is here.
It's about 100.
Yeah.
Is that-
Equals this minus this. I can't read that, but 107.
That's what I got.
So then that goes back into this one. No, where is it?
That all goes down to the Jimmy Camp.
Camp Creek Trail. Plus 107. Okay. Good catch, Brian.
Okay, sure.
So it's the tax discretion. You have a quorum to move or not.
Do you have a motion?
How about a suggestion? Since we've made changes to other people's projects who weren't here, maybe we should send this out to them and let them look at it.
The only ones being what? Fountain and Manitou, or?
Manitou, I'm a little concerned about since they weren't able to make it here today. And I know that Wade had concerns last time around.
So am I hearing you suggest we table any,
To table action, but to get this out to everybody as soon as possible.
Yep.
Is that
So
your
I'll
motion?
move that.
What's that do to your timeline? You okay?
With the, assuming the board moves their meeting from the 8th to the 15th of June, which I am confident,
Well, that's an assumption.
then, yes, it is an assumption. Then in April, the TAC and CAC will recommend the plan and tip, and May, it'll go out for public comment by the board in May, come back, the comment period ends, we'll clean it up. The board releases it in May. The TAC and CAC would have to make a recommendation on approval in June before the end of the comment period.
May I make an alternative
Please.
suggestion? I asked Wade about his negative vote on what we had done when we were voting online. And Wade's indication to me at that time, and I'll share this with you now, is that he was fine with the table. He had no problem, and he appreciated the fact that we were funding a project in Manitou Springs that we had not been funding under the previous table. But he was very concerned about staff's inability to provide information at the date of the meeting, and thus causing us to have a special meeting. So I would have to agree with that analysis, but I think it's important for the sake of our budgets that we proceed with this, get this approved, and I think Manitou Springs is appreciative of the fact that a project has been added and that other jurisdictions have taken things off the long-range plan to enable that project to be on the list. So I don't think we will be stepping on Manitou Springs' toes if we approve this today.
Brian?
Yeah, I agree. That was my feeling from Wade's email, was that it was more process-related for his vote, and it wasn't that he had issues with projects in the table. So I would feel comfortable with approving this or recommending approval today.
How about I withdraw my motion and we'll go from there?
Motion withdrawn?
Yes.
Okay. Bill?
Well, I was just going to comment, I mean, the whole purpose we got together today was for a special TAC meeting to make this decision and keep moving forward. Let's not punt it down. It's a logical assumption, maybe the meeting will change, but maybe it won't. And we don't want to have to come back here again because everybody has other things going on, so I would endorse moving forward and making a decision.
Why, I move to make a decision today and move that we approve the tip as shown in today's meeting.
The plan.
The plan, I'm sorry.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, open for discussion. I'll just start. Craig, this only allows us to put it out for public comment.
Exactly.
So at our next meeting,
We can make changes.
we can make changes again. So that still gives the opportunity, correct? Okay.
One comment is if we could get the reason why the projects that were withdrawn. Oh, you already said that, never mind.
Yep.
I've already got it written down on another page, sorry. My bad.
So your motion includes that, right, Kathleen?
I think we have to move,
Yeah.
vote on.
I'm just assuring
It,
that,
it does, the motion includes the change for reasons of taking projects off the list for right now is because we are seeking other funding.
any other further discussion? Anything from the audience? All righty. It's been moved in second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All righty.
Thank you.
Item number 5, adjustments to TIP project list. This is again a review and recommend item.
So-
Craig Casper, Transportation Director.
And this is the opportunity, at the TAC meeting, the formal TAC meeting, first TAC meeting, there was some confusion about what projects were in at what level and in years. So this is the complete set of Metro and TAP funds, although neither of them are called that anymore, with the funding shown by year for review. This one, again, we could table. You did, I believe you adopted, it is exactly, I believe, no, it's not, because of the household travel survey in 2020. This includes the household travel survey. So if you look at the Metro page, and let's see if I can find it on the,
First project on the second page.
is that where it is? Did I skip it? Yes, first full project on the second page. The funds that Wendy found are 2017 and 2019, 360 and 708, which is slightly over the $1 million that the board had approved in October. And it's also not in 2020, because we need it in 2020, but that gets it into the plan. And then when we do the process for phasing and timing, projects will be getting moved around anyway. We need to do that workshop in the immediate future. My assumption would be that those would be moved into the year we actually need the funding. Other than that, I think the projects are all the way that you had relayed them to us at the workshop.
So that's why there really hasn't been an impact on the new tip, because the money
Yeah, it's actually.
found for 17, 18, and 19.
Yeah, exactly. Wendy, in the reconciliation, found other funds, which then moved that out.
I have one question.
Go ahead, Kathleen.
On the CDOT's State Highway 21 widening, which is at the bottom of the second page.
And the top of the third.
page,
Yes.
that I believe, if I'm looking at that correctly, all of that funding is in 2019.
Yes.
Is that okay with CDOT, considering they're building it this year?
CDOT can cash manage.
I have to remember that they have different rules.
Yes.
than the rest of us.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. They have a credit card and the rest of us have cash in our pocket.
Exactly.
Craig, Is this one under the same timeline issue?
Yes, the plan and tip should go out, the plan amendment and tip, new tip should go out on the same time frame.
Is this the same issue where we can release it and still have other comments?
Yep.
Because I feel a little bit uncomfortable that we're just receiving these at the meeting.
Yeah. That's why I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, in your place, I'd be okay postponing it a month till you had a time to digest this. Like I said, I'll send this out as a spreadsheet. Actually, Kevin will send this out as a spreadsheet. And for review and with the actual Excel spreadsheet. But I thought I'd get you a hard copy at the meeting so we can look at it here.
I know, that's why I'm concerned.
I'm not as far as you apparently.
Well, I just kind of looked through it, and there's some things that we adjusted previously that I'm not seeing in here, so I guess that it can be changed later on.
Yeah, Walker's not right either.
So, yeah, and if you see things that were supposed to have been adjusted previously, please let us, Kevin, know so we can figure out what it is. This is sort of a clean slate. Let's have this be a real good right tip.
So I'd like to make a motion.
Go ahead,
Quick
Kathleen.
question.
Sure.
The household travel survey, in the memo, it says 1.178 million,
Yep.
but in the tip table, it's.
There wasn't as much reconciled. It was
So the 1.068 is the
is the
proper
right number.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you look at on the front page, we've got the federal funds to PPACG, and then immediately below it is the program federal funds. That's the sum, and then there's a line for unspent funds, so you can follow it across. We actually have unspent funds right now, $781 in 2020, $166,000 in 2021, and $11,000 in 2022. Still confirming those, but it looks like when we do the shuffle, there will be some extra funding there for rounding and whatever else.
All right, Kathleen.
I move approval of the 2017 to 2022 tip with the understanding that it's for reasons of public review, and that there may be changes recommended from the TAC at future meetings.
Is there a second? First and a second. Any other discussion? Anything from the audience? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed. We just need to have one on record. We know there are problems with it, so I'll leave it at that.
Well, actually, I'm not sure there are problems with this. I think this is probably,
No,
well,
a few of them.
so, I mean, if you see,
I don't believe, and I haven't looked at all of it since we just got it, but I don't believe the additional funding that the board voted on in November
October.
are in, it's November, but anyway.
Oh, the additional funding part,
The
yeah.
additional funding, I don't believe it's on here.
Okay.
You might want to check that in the meantime, but I'll look
Okay.
at it also when you send a spreadsheet out, but I'm not positive we've got it all here.
And if there are revisions, they could be taken as public comments, right?
Absolutely, and I will.
Yeah,
be
totally.
making comments once I have a chance to go through the actual numbers in the spreadsheet, so I'll send them to you as soon as I have them. But as I told you earlier today, I haven't myself gotten through even the 16 tip yet to verify all of that.
It's just, if you agree that go out for public comment and you can make comments, then why would you vote against releasing it for public comment? That's the whole purpose, is to make those comments.
Well, I think
made
that-
sure that
Just-
you got the vote, but,
Okay.
we did just get this today. We recognize there were some problems with it, and so that was why I just voted no. And like I said, I made sure that we had a majority vote to pass it.
And I think everybody's vote is at their own discretion, and they have the opportunity, if they want to provide reasons why. So, all righty. Item number 6, and member entity announcements. Is there any announcements?
I wanted to give you an update of why I'm here and Tim's not. Tim is still struggling, we'll say. He's back in town today, although he has a terrible case of bronchitis, but won't be back to work until maybe tomorrow or Thursday. But his sister has had to go back on a respirator, and they have been unable to remove her from a respirator. She cannot breathe on her own, so things are not looking all that good, so keep Tim in mind.
And you met our two planners. Scott Phillips is he's the mobility manager for PPACG now. We'll be doing mobility management for PPACG, so.
Hope that works for him.
Craig, since not everybody was able to be here, can we try and at least get some draft minutes out quickly so that people know what's going on, or at least kind of an update from you?
Yep, and I'll definitely send out the spreadsheets, and I'll update the long-range plan spreadsheet. And I'll see, Jacqueline has also left. Anna, I'm not sure how, she's still drinking from a fire hose right now, so we'll work on that.
It's just nice for people to know and not have to wait for
A month.
for what's happened, so.
And tomorrow, the CAC will be taking these items up. I don't know if anybody will be attending in case they have questions,
Maybe.
I'll be here.
so.
And then, and any other member entity announcements? Any items for future TAC meetings?
Plan, tip. We need to do the workshop on the phasing of the tip, and also the data gathering pavement condition workshop. I think those are the highlights.
I'll just say I know that I've received a lot of comments from TAC members, and I'm hopeful that now that you have some new staff, that we're hopefully able to get back on track as far as making sure that we have stuff in advance for meetings, and hopefully, I know that nobody's perfect, but hopefully we're able to
Get ahead of the curve.
have items that are ready for our review. I know that everybody's very busy, and so I'm just hopeful that that will occur, Craig.
Yep,
So,
we are too.
Can I piggyback on that?
Yep.
To the new staff, welcome, and we look forward to working with you. So,
we do. We're excited that you're here.
yes. And the old staff is wonderful, too. Absolutely, Ken.
You feel a little left out there, Ken?
Sorry.
And I know Bill's retiring. Is it next month is your last meeting?
End of May. Yes.
End of May. So next month will be Bill's last meeting, so. Alrighty.
Got to find somebody first.
I don't know, bang.
Okay. Any other items before we adjourn?
Move adjournment.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That didn't take as long as I thought it would. I'm glad about that.